Hello. How long has it been since I played this game? I was supposed to do it weekly, but like, life life got in the way. Life doesn't find a way. Life just got in the way of me. Lately, anyway. Anyway, so, The Pale Beyond. Welcome back. So where did we leave off last time? Oh wait, hang on. Hang on. Up, up. Okay, week 1 at 3rd camp. Here we are. Oh. Lovely. I see I left myself with quite a situation on my hands. No food, no heat, no morale. Ugh. Lovely. Wait, hang on. Oh yeah, I can set people to work there. Anyway. Oh, and I forgot. Someone had just died too. I really just left myself with like the worst. Cavalry, you're supposed to be the smart one. Who'll carry me when I'm drunk now? Cavalry had more sense than just about anyone I've met. Can't believe this happened to him. He'd always keep the other sailors right, especially 2 Johns and Tucker. He's back with 2 Johns now at least. Tucker's on his own now. Man, oh man. Honestly, how many resources do I have? I have nothing. I have nothing. Captain. Templeton. Mr. Higgs. Call me Hot Tucker. Mr. Higgs is fine. Is there something you require? Must be nerve-wracking in here all day. Well, I say day. Can't tell what time it is anymore, can you? I suppose not, but... Must fry your head, Captain, does it? Not too bad. I've grown used to it. Aye. Suppose it's been long enough now. I'm sorry, Mr. Higgs. Did you come here with a request or not? The bidets barely exist anymore. Nothing to do around here but pass the hours. So, you have nothing to request? Oh. Uh-oh, I tapped out. Hang on. My bad. You simply come here to make idle chatter? Aye. Nothing better to do. Captain? Go play cards with the others. It'd be the 50th game this week, Captain. But I'll not keep you from your work any longer. Captain, it seems winter is beginning to take the toll on its crew. Yeah, I think so. I think so, considering this mess. The problem is, I legit don't think I can survive this next week. Captain, I've been thinking a great deal over the last while. I want to thank you for speaking with me when you did. I needed that. I've certainly made this expedition more difficult than it had right to be through my previous cowardice. And for that, I'm sorry, Captain Shaw. No need to be. I'm happy you've seen some sense. I wonder how my father is doing. On the other side of the world, I wonder if he's thinking of me. My mother and sister, too. There's so much I must return to. He pauses for a moment before presenting you with an envelope. Captain, if I fail to make it back to the world, would you be able to bring this letter to my father? Thank you. Anything I should know about your father? He is a thoughtful man, in a sense. Stern, but he has a good mind. You have nothing to worry about, Captain. Okay. Hang on. How many Where is the medical tent? Hang on. Ah, here it is. Is there anyone else? Oh, you got frostbite. Never mind. Freezing, demoralized. Yeah, I legit don't think I can make it. Hang on. I'm gonna see if I can... 2 holes in the canopy, too. I legit don't have enough crew for this. Wait a minute. Oh my God. I really thought because it was in the middle of winter that we wouldn't be able to go scouting. If that's the case, I have to start winter, like, entirely over. Because I have not been doing anything. Yeah. Oh, I hate myself. Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. What did I do here? Oh, right. Engineers cure crew of freezing. Awesome. Scouts, you're freezing. You're freezing. You're malnourished. You're freezing. Okay. Hang on. Yeah, elephant. Ah, I need more research for that. I see. Well... Oh, more. Okay. I think I'll try and take it. Oh, more penguins, huh? Okay. What are we waiting around for, Captain? Can't keep up like this much longer. Winter's coming in. We better cover up before the cold takes us. Oh, I was gonna burn those. That's right. That makes a lot more sense. Alright. I think I'm not actually going to lock down the camp. Yet. big on the yet. I think I'm gonna wait one more week. Okay. Okay, can I legit not? Oh, darn. Darn. I really wanted to get more. Oh, well, I suppose. Lock down and prepare for winter. Here we are. Winter. Okay. I know I'm seeming crass by, like, skipping everything. But hang on. If I send the freezing guys in here, will they get frostbite, or will they just keep their freezing debuff? Ha ha! Ooh, boy, I just found myself a cheeky little exploit. Yeah, baby! Woo! Now that's what I'm talking about. Hang on. I have more crew that are freezing than just those two, don't I? Ah, well, one of the engineers are. Ah, well, two of the scientists are, too. Oh, well. I'll put both the scientists in the med bay. Raise the heat. And this time, I'm actually gonna do a smart and do some scouting. Oh my god. Oh my god! Bro! I really should have done this sooner. I really didn't think there'd be that many seals around. I was suffering like hell! And they're just out there! Ripe for the pickings! Well, Captain, sun won't be getting up for a while. Welcome to our new home.
Aye, this canopy ain't pretty, but she'll do us right. Better than being stuck out in that blizzard.
That, I believe, we can all agree on.
It's a strong one, aye. Worse than I've ever seen. We'll have to keep an eye out for rips in the outer canopy.
Oh, don't want the heat seeking.
Or the cold ripping in. You see a single hole, you grab whoever you can to fix it.
Best we heed their warnings, Captain. This tar plane is an old and clearly has seen better days. Captain, I hope you are becoming accustomed to our new setup. It will be some time before we can leave this canopy. 21 weeks. I assume you've been keeping track of the time. It's been 21 weeks since we first set sail. 18 more weeks to rescue, correct? Yes. The winter will be long, but I feel it won't feel as such. Even thoughts can freeze out here. I think the weeks will pass before you know it. Still, you have been in command for quite some time now. It has made for interesting observation, to say the least. And you've been making judgments, I take it? Templeton flicks through the pages of his notebook. I admit, telling the crew that Hunt had passed did not endear you to the sailors. They remain skeptical. But I was the one who recommended that course of action, and I still believe it was the best of our options. And you'll admit if need be? Yes, if need be. Templeton flicks through the pages of his notebook. I am disappointed by your refusal to take action against Stoke and his music. The captain has a frozen arse! Leaving room for such open disrespect to your authority, you now look weak and ineffectual. Better weak than a tyrant. I'm not here to abuse authority. Not abuse, enforce. I must commend you for your action during the incident with the leopard seal. Your cool head and preparedness meant we were able to avoid disaster. Kudos. Templeton flicks through the pages of a notebook. It will be a long time before winter clears, but when it does, we'll be closing in on our rescue point, which is also the last known location of the Viscount, if you may recall. I wonder if Hunt was still headed in that direction. Hunt? No, I doubt that. The man had little faith in the expedition. I wonder. Do you still hope to find the Viscount? No matter, we've spoken enough. Best we get back to work. Is that the same compass you carried in your third film?
Indeed it is! I'm surprised you weren't able to pick up on those details.
Well, I have seen them quite a few times. My family purchased a print of the Through the White Waste for private screening, so I'm quite accustomed to it all.
Through the White Waste? Ha! You must have been this tall when that film came out.
Maybe shorter. That canvas pack of yours, that must be 30 years old by now.
I know to keep my equipment well maintained. You're the same, aren't you?
Of course! I'd never let my trusty camera even get scratched.
You know, we barely had a budget for that first film. Most thought the idea was set for disaster. I had to get the sponsorship of Tinned Beans to even get that expedition off the ground.
I remember those adverts. Newspapers ran them for quite a while, in fact. I had some newspaper clippings for research, building up a portfolio. I think one of those advertisements is in this folder.
Why would you need so much research? Seems a bit much for one expedition.
Well, this is for something else.
And that is?
Well, it's somewhat shameful to admit, but I keep a record of some historical figures that I hope on one day, well, writing a biography on.
A biography?
Yes, I know it's getting ahead of myself, but I like to be prepared for projects that are in the realm of possibility, maybe?
I would like to see that. A historical figure, eh?
I would say you fit the criteria.
Flattering, but it does make me sound old.
I like him. Okay. I already did that, I believe. Feed the furnace. I think I'll feed some of the last bit of fish to the furnace. I'll feed some of the penguins too. And for the whoosh, medium-sized game. Okay. Do I have anyone? I do have people in the medical tent. Good. Crew have their meal. The long dark continues. Okay, hang on. Do I, by chance... Do I chance it? That's my question. Do I chance this? Because I don't know what's going to happen to me. A pawn will be wounded. Oh, I can only take 2 on that. Hang on. I know there's a hole in the tarp here. So... Ah, that's gonna take up all my crew. That's fine. Thinking of going for a stroll? Thinking of going for a stroll? What? You were staring at the exit for quite a while there. Oh, right. You alright? Yes. It's going to be a long winter, isn't it? Should be. And the food we have now will have to last us, right? What are you getting at? Well, nothing. Nutley scurries off, returning to his tent. You see that, Shaw? Something's up with the doctor. Don't like it. Miss Corden, would you be able to calm that thing down? I'm attempting to make a note of the day's work. The move has left Stanberry overstimulated, with nowhere to take them, bored. How long before the creature tires itself out? A pack down can remain active for several hours without taking a rest. And then will it calm down? Perhaps. Then another is likely to act out again. How is anyone to have any work done in their presence? You will grow used to it. Learn to focus your mind. I am focused on my duties at all times, thank you very much. Then you should have no issue. Roof! Ah, Captain! We're sitting for quite a few weeks. We'll have to find something good to pass the time. All sports are out of the question, considering the circumstances. Perhaps we can state stories of expeditions past. I have quite a few up my sleeve. I don't have any stories of my own to share. Don't worry, Robin. I have more than enough for both of us. Though we may be here for quite some time, better I get through them at a reasonable pace. Wouldn't want to waste every story I have in a single evening, would I? Oh well, I'll let you get back to your work for now. Alright, I think everyone's working. Yes. Do I have anyone malnourished? I don't. That's really cutting it close, though. Cure to freezing, cure to freezing, progress to frostbite, freezing, malnourished. Okay. Alright, we grab a penguin, and we come in, see what's happening. Ooh, a lot of people today. I've had it. I've had enough. Night after night, week after week, those salters. Isaac, some decorum, please. Apologies, but I cannot take their presence any longer. Loud, disruptive, and the mess they leave behind after dinner. I just want some peace and privacy. Is that too much to ask? Captain, I implore you that you really relocate me to another tent. Anywhere else, as long as it's away from them. How about closer to the kennels with the dogs? Fine. Honestly, the dogs will be preferable at this rate. Captain, hate to do this, but you mind moving me to a new spot? Getting awfully cold and the ozone bones are starting to crack. I'm not owed special treatment, but I'd like to be moved closer to the boiler for warmth. I'm sorry, but you'll have to bear it. It gets better from here. Well, let's hope so. Captain, do you mind if I move to a different tent? Worried about the boiler? I like to be on hand in case of emergency. Would you be able to move me closer? Of course. We'll move there. Yeah, Clive Hammond loyalty. Woo! Thank you, Captain. That eases my mind. Oh, Templeton. Need to do something about Arthur. Arthur? The doctor. Right, yes, Dr. Nutley. I wasn't aware Dr. Nutley was proving an issue. He isn't. Since winter started, he seems unwell. I think the pressure is starting to get to him. I'm surprised to see you coming to us with this issue. I didn't take you to show concern to a high-class landborn. He's a good lad. Means well. Besides, he's part of the crew. Hunt picked him out. Well, it's no secret that the good doctor carries a nervous temperament. Do you think it's beginning to affect his own health? I'm not alone. Junior, Belfoot, and Darling all think so too. And it's quite noticeable. Don't worry, Grimly. I'll have words with him. Good. But sooner than later talking to him. Lad's barely hanging in there. Captain Templeton, I heard through the grapevine our good doctor was having a spot of bother. Indeed, you just may be able to help. You know the boy well, don't you? I should say so. How long have we been on the ice together now? Then you may just be the right man for this job. We're concerned about the doctor's temperament. He's slowing down in his work, and he may threaten stopping altogether. Well, his own health comes above his work, wouldn't you agree? Both are a matter of grave importance. You will speak to him then? I'm afraid that might be beyond me, Richard. What? It's a captain's duty to consult the crew. Right you are, Robin, but it's not just that. I've spoken to that lad quite a bit, but I've never made it through to the boy. Tough nut to crack. I might not have the right disposition for it. Too soft, I say. Excuse me. Treat him too softly. The young man's a doctor. He does not need to be handled with gloves. What he needs is someone to remind him of the duty behind his role. No sugared words. The boy's temperament is hanging by a thread, and you want Shaw to approach with a saw? You said it yourself. The gentle method proves ineffective. I said no such thing. We will see what fares best when I have words with Mac. Understood. I suppose what presents itself in the moment is best. Yes, no good with playing with hypotheticals, is there? I trust your judgment, Captain. Best leave the talk until after dinner. No need to interrupt this work further. Please let me know how you fare, Captain. Best of luck. Alright, hopefully I actually do something right by him. Okay. First of all, you're the one with frostbite, so you're resting. I've got enough hoosh pot to cure that malnourishment. Those two freezing. Actually, hang on. Yeah. It's such a little exploit. I love it. Okay. We do need to taper all this down. The scouts. Yeah, all three scouts and the scientists will have to do. Okay. Feed the furnace. Some of the small ones. Oh my god. There we go. Hang on. Raise the heat. Okay, so you've got frostbite, you're malnourished. Wow. Oh yeah, that's right. Wait a minute. I just realized if I don't... Hang on, I have to load the 4th week. I know, I'm being cheesy. But I realize if I keep him demoralized, I'm literally going to lose. Like, just one demoralization will be enough to absolutely tear this camp apart. Yada yada yada, I've had enough. Closer to the kennels with the dogs. Yada yada yada. You'll have to bear it, it gets better from here. Yada yada yada. You can move there. Brimley, yada yada yada. Wasn't aware he was proving an issue. I'll have words with him. Yada 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 yada. No use with hypotheticals. We'll see what happens. Okay. First things first. I absolutely have to get this man in for an interview. Okay. Now... Actually, I think I'll put you in there. Actually, hang on. I think I can only afford to do 2. Because the rest have to repair the tent. I think I'll keep that tin. Is that all I have? No. That's what I was about to say. Perfect. Okay, that should last us for the night anyway. Everyone is working. All right. Right. I still need to assign you to the med bay. Glad I got that first. Alright, Nutley! Ah, Captain. Is there an issue? The crew are worried about you, Arthur. Oh, right. Captain, I must apologize. For what? I know I'm not what you would have asked for in a ship doctor. I'm nervous, my mind often scattered, and the sight of blood, well, it makes me faint. Hardly qualities befitting a surgeon, are they? You're a fine surgeon nonetheless. Captain, there's something I must confess. The reason Hunt took me on against all other candidates, well, because of my father. Father? Yes. Well, you see, my father was Hunt's barber. They were quite friendly, and, well, my father called in a favor. And you know that for certain? Well, not for certain, but it's quite clear. My father was so proud when I took this expedition, believing it could finally toughen his boy up. He was always obsessed with that. No matter what I did for him, he always came back to how tough I was. Or wasn't. But you can see how well that worked, can't you? I've had no issue with your work. Captain, there's no need to protect my self-worth. I know where I stand. Some of the crew have been quite kind to me. Too kind. But whether it's harsh words from Templeton or pats on the back from Kurt, their eyes are all the same when they look at me. A burden. A mouth to feed. So, prove them wrong. But I don't believe they are. I've tried, but I have to accept it. My cowardice leaves me a drain on the crew's resources, selfishly so. Perhaps it's better of me to... Nutley, stop this. You're talking nonsense. Right. Of course, you're right. I suppose I've been acting fool. Now isn't the time to lose my nerves. What remained of them. I'm sorry for worrying you, Captain. Nutley walks off, making his way back to his tent. Clearly, much is on the doctor's mind. Okay. That honestly went better than last time. Why are you so pressed up against that lamp? Trying to read. Too dark for anything like that. Missing your home, aren't you? Wherever that is. Not long now. We can hope. Captain, I have heard mutterings among the crew that have raised concern. It would appear that our rations of tobacco are finally running dry. The crew have already been on edge since the beginning of this winter. I doubt if this will improve matters. Mr. Hammond and the sailors have been awfully fond of the leaf. I have even spotted them trading some of their food rations for it. Ridiculous, I know. Captain and company did us well to supply us this long, at least. Yes, it was remarkable it was even able to last as long as it has. Hunt must have consumed a quarter of the supply in his time on the ship alone. That lot are quite addicted to it. A simple plant carries so much control over them. Personally, I never much cared for it. I tend to avoid any substance that could affect my body chemistry. Still, I have an odd respect for the leaf. There is something admirable about the plant that can steer human behavior so strongly. No wonder our benefactor saw it wise to supply them in abundance. How did they manage to produce so much tobacco in the first place? It's as you'd expect, Captain. Just as they funded this expedition, so too have they funded countless ventures, countless discoveries. That is how their business operates. Do you believe they were simply fortunate enough to have peaches grow in their backyard? Dealing and selling did similar in my time. I would prefer you do not compare our employer to your past activities. You may have your doubts, Captain. I understand that. Do I approve of their eagerness of mine to mine natural resources? To sell them off at the cost they do? No. However, I also understand that commodification is the vehicle to scientific study. I have all the money I need to research these plants. I have seen several breakthroughs and discoveries that would not be possible without their financial aid. If, in return, I must provide them with a commodity to mass produce and sell off, then so be it. I consider that a mutually beneficial arrangement for all involved. I see where you're coming from, Templeton. The good outweighs the bad. I'm glad you understand that, Captain. I find the nuance of the arrangement is lost on most. I apologize, Captain. It is not like me to ramble like this. I suppose the tension of this winter has begun to affect me as well. Perhaps a cigarette would help even myself. Or perhaps I simply need a good night's rest. Good evening, Captain. Honestly, we're doing a lot better. I mean, this time around, anyway. Well, I mean, I can't exactly make any concessions, but we're on to week 27. Okay. Week 28. Let's see what the crew has to say. Templeton. Oh yeah, you're doing small talk, aren't you? Yeah, small talk. Go play cards with the others, yada yada. Yorick, hello! Captain Shaw, oh goodness. You're out of breath. Calm yourself. Isn't it an emergency? Well, this might sound mad. Out with it. I saw it! Clear as day, I looked out into the snow, and I saw it! What? The barn wheel! Well, Captain, the next order of business is... I'm not joking! I know it sounds mad, but I saw it! 12 feet tall, covered in thick bush... Thicky? Yeah, that bourgeois! It's a thickie! Thick, bushy white hair! No such creature exists. The winter has clearly gotten to you. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me too, but what if they weren't? What if there is a beast like that? If we caught it, it could feed us for 3 winters, no 4! You are not suggesting a winter hunting party. We won't travel far. Captain, think about it. Hang on. Oh, I have to commit 4 people to this. 4 people. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna do it. Mainly because, like, Captain Hunt is still alive. Maybe he saw Captain Hunt. And if they hunt Captain Hunt and they find him alive, like, I'm gonna have a mutiny on my hands. Like, there's no way my 8% morale will handle the, like, finding out that Captain Hunt is alive. Like, oh my god. Absolutely not. But Captain! That is enough. We will not hear another word of it. Very well. Okay. First off, plug the... Well, hang on. Let's put our scouts to work. Okay. Oh yeah, I have to grab one. Then I will put you 3 on there, confirm orders, go under the tent, ask the engineers to raise the heat, confirm, and I have 1, 2, 3, I only have 3 left. Oh, 2 Johns, if only I had kept you alive for a little bit longer. Oh well, we can handle a little bit of cold. Actually, I don't need the crew to be on hospital. Alright, Nutley. As you step out of the tent, you notice Nutley approach. Captain, I've been thinking a great deal over the last while. I want to thank you for speaking with me when you did. I needed that. Oh yeah. Happy you've seen some sense. Yeah, if I fail, take the letter. Anything I should know? We've already seen all this. And no, I'm not going to read his letter. Like, that's his personal business. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Oh no, I don't even have enough. Oh shoot. Oh shoot, I mismanaged it. Yeah, whoops. I get it, I failed again. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll rewind 1 week. And I'll send everyone on hunting parties now. Rather than later. Oh, come on. Don't be like that. Come on, game. Hang on. I'm going to make sure both of you go out. Why are you like this? Fine. There. Both of them are marked down to hunt for the week. Okay, I'm probably going to regret that. Oh yeah, I've had enough! Barrett, grips. Course. Grimly. Wasn't aware, proving an issue. Oh wow, this is actually a lot better. I'm glad I changed that decision to move him next to the kennels. Okay. Well, I have no one left to, Oh, shoot. I have to load! I can't let Tucker go out. Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to save the engineers. And have them just, do their usual of upping the heat for the crew. Yeah. So important to you, Lefty. You'll have to bear it. Of course, you can move there. Okay. This time, I think we're going to survive. This time, put you in the med bay. Okay. Okay, that should be enough. Okay, Nutley. Crew are worried. No need to apologize. You're a fine surgeon. Your father. I've had no issue with your work. Go prove them wrong. You're talking nonsense. Okay. Let's cross our fingers. Actually, hey, while I've got the chance, 2 of my scouts are not doing anything. Maybe I should have them do something, like scout around. More elephant seals. Appreciate that. Cool. Okay, week number 28. Okay, before we do anything, Tucker, oh yeah, you're just small talking. And you're talking about the barnwheel, the flying Ooyarooly. It's the flying Ooyarooly. Okay, now there's 3 holes in the canopy. Lovely. Boy, old man, today's your birthday, isn't it? Surprised you still know what day it is. But his old bones are growing even older. Can't imagine what surprise you have planned. I actually asked Grimly to carve a wooden whale for you before you set off. Oh, where is it? Head down with the ship. Ah, well, it's the thought that counts. Okay. Raise the heat. And who got injured? You got injured. Oh, shoot. Oh, this is bad. I think someone might be dying. Because we're gonna have 3 people on, frostbite tomorrow, and I can't cure that. Wait, oh, we can! Let's go! Okay, 42. Yeah, I need one more. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna set all of them to... I have to. I have to. You know what? I'll set the scouts to it. Okay, wait. Hang on. I'm going to reload the day again. I know. But I'm going to make them do the freezing work before I, like, turn in the, antifreeze stuff. This is, like, serious try-harding hours right now. Bonwheel! It's the Bonwheel! Woo! Okay. So first off, let me get the penguin, and then let me assign all of my freezing sailors to gather Emperor Penguins. Then I get the engineers to raise the heat. And then I feed the furnace. Perfect. $39 plus 9. That's 48. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So I definitely want to try to repair these. But I will also send the others out. How many people do I have left? I have 4. And I'll do some more scouting. Oh, hang on. Measure and weigh falling hailstones. For each scientist... 3 decorum instantly, as well as 1 research. That might be good. Okay. Not Lee. Yeah. Take the letter. Anything I should know, yada yada. Don't read the letter. Okay. We're surviving another week. Well, hang on. Of course. Grab that. And my 3 freezing crew members. Put them to work. Raise the heat. Okay, who... You're wounded and frostbitten. You're just wounded. I think you can survive. You got frostbite. Command arrest. Hang on, what? Hang on, I think the game just glitched. Ah! Okay. Grab the penguin carcass. My 3 freezing crew members. Gather more penguins. My engineers. There. Now, the med bay. Why are you invalid? Hang on, maybe I'll just, talk to Nutley. Captain, I was running a standard physical examination on, well... I'd request that you meet with me in the medical tent this evening. Is there an issue? Why not present it here? The individual would rather this be handled privately. Apologies for sounding so cryptic. Just later, after dinner. Oh boy. I must admit, I'm curious what issue the doctor has encountered that requires your summons. Well, I needn't pry. Private matter's a private matter. Okay. Nutley. Please. Yes! Thank you. Where's me other frostbitten? You get in. Ah! Game. 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 Stop that. 1, 2. Okay. Wait. I swear to God. Nutley. Heal your people. Please. They keep disappearing from the beds. I'm going to... Okay. Maybe it's just like an event-specific day thing. Maybe that's all it is. I don't want 2 people dying. Okay, wait. Gather the penguins. Set my freezing crew to gather more penguins.
Winter might finally be clearing up, eh? About time. God, remember when those bloody penguins showed up at camp? Seems an age past now.
Certainly come a long way.
Aye, but don't be getting sentimental. Can't wait to get moving again.
Engineers. Heat. Feed. Furnace. You can't spell winter without NTR. Hang on, I recognize that acronym, NTR. Like, wasn't that some kind of, like... I feel like that was some kind of radio station in a video game. Like, you're listening to NTR or something. Okay. Hopefully, this glitch resolves itself. Because I'm tired of reloading this day. Bonk the streamer. Why bonk the streamer? Don't bonk the streamer. I'm trying to do things right. Okay.
Ah, Captain, don't let the cold in.
Captain Shaw, what do we owe the visit?
Ah, Kasha, this is actually a private matter. Do you mind giving us the tent for a moment?
Oh, very well. Kasha exits.
Sorry, I don't think this is worried. This is worth getting the crew worried over.
What did you find, Nutley? I noticed an arrhythmia in his heart. It's difficult to determine the cause without further examination. But as it stands, my current diagnosis is cardiomyopathy. You can't send emotes? Oh, well, your emotes showed up in like, the on-screen chat. But, like, the problem is where I'm reading it from, because of, like, my third-party software, I get to read the whole emote name out loud. That way, like, I seem like I'm knowledgeable about emotes, but really, I'm just dumb. I'm just very dumb. You don't have to sugarcoat it. But as it stands, my current diagnosis is cardiomyopathy. Years of adventure finally catching up to the old ticker, eh? Well, it could be genetic. Bah! That's just a guess. But still, some unusual rhythm is no issue. Have you experienced shortness of breath while sitting down? Well, fatigue, a sudden cough when you lie down, dizziness. I noticed some swelling in your ankles as well. Who's to say that? Kurt, please. Trying to help. Yes, I've experienced it. What does this mean? Well, it's manageable, but you will have to take it easy for the rest of the expedition. Bah! No more hauling equipment. Very well. If you're offered a drink by the crew, refuse. You don't know how you're still sub to her. Honestly, I don't know either. Like, I mean, subs take a month each. So maybe you got gifted again? I don't know. I don't know. Off or fair. And, well, it's my belief that Kurt is not fit to lead a lifeboat once we set off. Now, Doctor, that's just not possible. I'm the navigator. You honestly can't expect anyone else to handle that sort of duty. You can at least provide guidance, Kurt. Yes, but the leading the boats are a separate matter entirely. I can't foreplan the entire sail. Your health comes first, Kurt. Just been 24 days. Ah, well, you still got it then. The entire crew's health is at risk if I'm not navigating those boats. Kurt, I won't mince my words. You could die. We all could. Bah, I don't want to argue with you, Arthur. We won't be getting anywhere doing so. It's up to you, Captain. That's true. Do you think it worth the risk? Oh. I'm sorry, Kurt. If you feel fit to continue until we reach land, then you may. I really don't think that's wise. I know, Doctor, but it's a measured risk, isn't it? We've had to make many out here. I suppose no. Try not to strain yourself too much, though. I'll do my best. Thank you, Doctor. Oh, and let's not tell the crew about this, shall we? I don't need them fussing over it. And a man is due his privacy. I'll respect that. I suppose I should get an early night, then. Kurt exits. Okay. Where are my crew members? And why are they not in the bed? I swear to God, if they die, like, I literally will have to reload. Because there's literally nothing I could do if they die. Plus 21, that's 49. Wait a minute. Yeah, 49. That'll do. And for the whoosh. Delicious. Okay, I've still got some people left. So, Animus, thank you for the lurk. That's perfect. Please tell me I can... I have to wait till the end of the week for that. Okay. That's fair. I've still got 3 more sailors, though. What's with you?
You've got to keep eye on the middle, Captain.
It's nothing that concerns you.
Oh, you, apparently. Are you bothered? Are you bothered you're being shut out of a meeting for once? Ha! Yeah!
I don't much care for secrecy.
Coming from you, that's bloody rich.
Okay. I think I will send these out. Now, I swear to God, if those two glitch out and die, I am going to be pissed. You wake to the sound of distant barking. It seems one of the... Uh-oh. You sprint from your tent. You aren't alone in being woken by the dogs. At the center of the campsite, a crack begins to form. Dogs leap from the kennel, sprinting southwards. Wait! Wait! Turtle runs across the track in pursuit of her dogs. Oh God. The ice shifts beneath you. You hear the sound of something falling. Then smashing. The lamps.
Hell! What the fuck is this?
Oh no. The flow is splitting. Quick, we need to move now! No wasting time! Nutley and Kasha run out from the medical tent. Nutley carries his bag slung over his shoulder while Kasha's hands are filled with notes. What is this? The ice is splitting! That all of your work? What I could carry, yes. Not good. Your tent's going under. What? No! My equipment!
Do not go back there that way, either of you. Understand?
Templeton runs out to Kurt. How should we handle this?
Captain, we need to get out of this tent as soon as possible. Everything past that point is going to be swallowed up.
You heard the man. Everyone haul what you can. Move! Crew get to work on furnace and lifeboats, hauling as fast as they can. With the ice breaking as quickly as it is, you realize you only have time to save one tent. Inspect the tent. Inspect medical, inspect. Inspect supplies. Ocean furnace. Remainder of the frozen emperor penguins, spice crates are beginning to sink below. Remainder of the... Oh, all of my, emperor penguins, or is it talking about the entire colony? The spice crates. I think I can handle the spice crates being gone. I forgot the third thing. There's still a crate of tinned lemons. Aha! One of Cordell's dogs howls in fear. No! No, the doggo! Oh no, I only have one crew member ready. 32 weeks, that's like 6 months. Honestly, yeah. It has been a long time. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, that's all. Oh, no. How the frick am I gonna heal all of that? We've settled a new camp by the shore. However, the crew cannot rest at this time. After a long journey, the shore has been reached. In the coming week, the crew will sail out on the lifeboats in search of proper land. Soon, this ice shall be left behind. Oh, God. The ice split proved to be a truly traumatic experience for the crew. The fact that the crew escaped with all lives intact is nothing short of extraordinary. Same cannot be said of our equipment. Many supplies were lost, washed away and carried off with the ice. One can only hope they no longer prove a necessity in this final stretch of the expedition. Lord, have mercy on my freaking soul. What exactly can I do from here?
Captain, we've got a problem.
How urgent?
The bloody compasses, they don't work.
Excuse me?
None of them. They've all been going haywire just after winter cleared.
Mr. Hammond, we're due to set off on the water. We cannot wait on the ice a moment longer.
You think I don't know that? Shit. You know how easy it is for the waves to turn us around? What if fog rolls in?
Mr. Hammond, do you have any idea what's causing the error?
Looks like a case of magnetic interference, but that can't be right, can it?
We come further south than anyone in history. This may just be the case closer to the pole. We best just hope for good fortune.
Hope? Great. We're sailing on bloody hope.
Captain, we have a few injured from the ice split. I have managed to arrange a small batch of crates to treat anyone. Well done, Doctor. Quite ingenious of you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Templeton. We unfortunately won't be able to make any more comforts, but I will treat whoever I can. Thank God! A word, Captain. What do you want? The animals. In all my years, I don't believe I've ever heard of dogs being able to sail the Silver Seas. Have you? No, I can't say I have. One of us is going to have to break the news to the kennel master. Her dogs will not be joining us on the ocean. You don't think that hasn't crossed my mind? Then you must understand what must be done. God, that sucks! I saved one of them, man! I saved one of them! For what? I assume you'll help me do the dirty work then? That's what it takes, yes. Should be clear by now that I've the interest of the expedition at heart. You don't have to keep explaining yourself. Just making sure. Cordell isn't a fool. I'm sure it's crossed her mind as well. Yes, but in situations like these, one must be crystal clear. I'll do it then. This requires tact. Oh, please don't force me into it immediately. Thank God. We've only got 5 wounded. That's a lot less than I was expecting, to be honest. Hang on. I need to make sure these are confirmed command to rest. Okay. The animals are eagerly trained on the penguin fillet and coral sand. He notices your approach. Captain, I was hoping to speak to you. I'm easy to find. I can't leave them unattended. She's silent for a moment. Dogs scramble as she launches the meal across them. I understand you're going to shoot my dogs, aren't you, Captain? I wondered your opinion on the matter first. Is that so? She looks out across the animals. I'm no fool. I just don't want them to suffer. They've been through so much already. The animals continue to scramble over the fillet. These dogs have known me their entire lives. He points at the dog tearing the fillet from its sibling. I used to carry that one around in my pocket as a pup. Do you have children, Captain? Do you see these creatures as your children? Would I be wrong to do so? Stanberry joins her by her side. I don't mean to sound cliche, Captain, but they're all I have. Can't help more animals if you're dead. Can't take them on the sail. Simply isn't enough room, I know. So, what's going to happen to them? Oh! Oh! Not the dogs! What's worse is that Stanberry is in Cordell's portrait right here, and he's looking straight at me. He's like under my PNG. Oh, man. Oh. I don't know what to pick. Kill them, it's the best option. I know, but that'd be devastating. And the problem is that... Would you rather they die slowly of coldness? But I mean, this isn't an empty ice sheet, you know? Like, there are things they can hunt, like elephant seals, penguins, what we've been using to survive this whole time. But like, I can't let her take one of the lifeboats. Like, that's not an option. We need that for the crew. Yeah, humans. There's 14 of them though. They can't hunt. There's also another problem of decorum. Because if we kill them and I lose 10 decorum, that's the end of the game. Like, that's game over. More food for the crewmates. That's also true. But that'd be crass, you know. Lose decorum, morale. This flag icon in the bottom left corner. This is essentially the health of my expedition. And I have been keeping it, yeah, 9 out of 100. It's been rough, okay? But I've been keeping it barely alive. Like, on holding this expedition together on a thread. Okay. Oh, I can't look the dog in the eye, man. I can't look it in the eye. Okay. You're right. Back of the head. Have the spinal cord. Don't let them suffer. I'd expect the same if it were me. Oh, Thomas. Robin. Yes? I'm ashamed to ask it, but I implore you this one mercy. Do ruffle Stanberry. May I keep one? Just one. Stanberry. Thank you, Captain. I won't forget this. Wolf says you tickle its ears. Oh. Oh. Give the order. The order is given. The news creeps through the camp. The air is left melancholic. Oh, man. No, don't make me do this. No. No. The weapon is heavy in your hands. You're careful not to touch any more of its icy metal than you have to. The dog looks at you expectant. Oh. Course of the day, the rest of the dogs are periodically brought around the ice ridge to be shot by the crew. I knew they'd bring this up. I knew it. I didn't pet the dog. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't want to drag that scene out any longer than I had to, man. Like, genuinely, that hurt. That hurt my soul. And seems like I can't do anything outside. Well, that was some grisly business, but it's done now. Those creatures will be granted a greater peace than could be imagined on the ice. I must commend you for taking part. I said that I would hold my word to a certain standard, Captain. The Kennel Master has been even more silent than usual after today's events. Understandably so. Perhaps it is best to check in on him. I will. There. It's okay, Stanberry. Evening, Cordell. Stanberry. Stanberry stays behind their master, softly whimpering. Sorry if I'm disturbing you at a difficult time. I just thought I should... Try. Check in. I'm sorry, I love you. Alfred, wait. I apologize. May I ask you a question? Are the dogs included in that dog of yours? Well, yes. I do have them listed by name. I've taken records of their shifts, but that's about it. I don't know much of the pack beyond that. Would you like to? I can tell you how they lived. Perhaps creatures such as they are less deserving to be eulogized. I disagree. Your dogs kept this crew alive, didn't they? They have just as much claim as being heroes and explorers as any of us. And we repay them with the mercy of the wicked. It hardly seems a fair trade, doesn't it? I'm sorry. Did not pull a trigger, nor would I begrudge you if you did. A necessary act. Still, tell me about them. I wish to know more. Well, I suppose I should start with Stanberry, should I not? Stanberry is... Oh... Some last-minute checks?
Nah,
No?
not last minute. Last minute checks come the morning we leave.
Oh, well, it doesn't hurt to be thorough.
Anything can change. No chances.
You seem concerned.
Does it hurt to be?
No, not at all.
Seem to be doing well.
Considering the circumstances, I am. Thank you, Grimly.
Aye, get some rest. Not pretty, is it? But necessary. Don't know if Cordo will feel the same. I'll miss the wee beasties.
Okay, you know what? Let's take a break for a moment, yeah? Honestly. How's everyone doing today? Deviz, how was your day? Tell me about your day so far. How have things been going? Okay. Was peculiar? Tell me more. Tell me more. Distract me from the deed I just had to freaking do. Do I know Naruto? I mean, I've watched part of the show, but like, but when, what's his face? Yeah, the classic one, yeah. But when Jiraiya, started perving on Naruto, I got the fuck out of there, you know? So, yeah. You know how they had that exam? The Chunin exams? The written one or the Forest of Death? Or are you talking about the tournament arc? There were like, I think there were like 3 parts to that. The written exam. Okay, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Go ahead. I remember Naruto got away with, like, answering none of the questions. Just because of, like, how the exam was structured or whatever. He had a physics test. And it was basic. like the two nerds in the class everyone was trying to cheat off of. I was one of those nerds in my class, I'll be honest. It was about who could get the answers. Yeah. I was one of those nerds in my physics class. And it didn't help that my physics teacher had a really thick accent. So, like, half of the time we couldn't understand the teacher, and the other half of the time we couldn't understand the material. Everyone teaches because your teacher is a horrible teacher. Oh, that'd make me angry. Good guy, but a horrible teacher. Yeah. That was kind of the same thing for our physics teacher. But it's not that she was a bad teacher, it's just she was an exceptionally boring teacher. Like, honestly, I was falling asleep. Well, I wasn't falling asleep, but I know a few people who did. And it didn't help that my physics also, like, was cut off by the pandemic. So, like, half the time we were stuck in quarantine. Ugh, that really didn't help. Can't teach it. Okay, yeah. Oh, excuse me. Let's get back to it, shall we? Ah, sure. Almost ready to set out. That's good to hear. Aye, it'll be a relief to get off this ice. Still need to assign the crew their stations. Plan carefully, Shaw. Don't know what we'll face out there. Everyone needs to pull their weight. Anything else, Captain? Thank you both for everything. Preparations begin. Templeton, Hammond, Kurt, yeah. Brimley and Jr. man the other two vessels. Remaining crew must be decided. Wait. Oh, hang on. I have enough, don't I? Okay, wait. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spots available. Oh, Lord. We're gonna have to leave a bunch of people behind. Oh, man, that sucks. Oh, that's awful. Morale up. No, don't be like that, Deviz. No, let's not. Let's not. In fact, you know what? I'm deleting that message. No, I'm not standing for such debauchery here. No. Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Problem is, we only have 9 more spots on the lifeboats, and we've got 14 people to put on the lifeboats. I really don't know what to do here. And a dog, yeah, and a dog. But I think the dog has already taken its spot. Definitely taking Ron's dad aboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just leave the sick and wounded. But the problem is, I'd still have to leave someone behind if I just left the sick and wounded behind. Because, like, even without the sick and wounded, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, no. I'd have room for 1. I think I'm going to take... I definitely... Doug is coming aboard. That's not in question. He's old, he's wounded. She's his wife. I guess she can stay. Oh my god, it's doing this again. Hang on. Wait. Hang on. Hang on, wait. 1 through 8, 1 to 8. Oh! Oh, I'm an idiot! I'm an idiot! Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. It's not the amount of people that are left, it's the amount of people that are, that I can assign. That's what it is. Oh my god, I feel so stupid. So I think I can take everyone then. Okay. I will assign all of the freezing old people. Actually, hang on. I will put the wounded on Lifeboat 1. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. I'll put the wounded on Lifeboat 1. Come on. No. I'll put those two and one of each. And I'll put those two and one of each. Set sail. You will not be able to return from this point. Are you sure? Aye. Camp is packed up and all the lifeboats are prepared for sail. Everything is ready, Captain. All that is left is for you to give the order. Are you really separating the man from his wife? Oh, whoops. Oh well. He needs to be on, he needs to be with the doctor anyway. This isn't going to be easy. Keep alert. 2:15 in the afternoon. For some back home, the end of lunchtime. For you, the beginning of a countdown. Instead of the boats, the lifeboats seem a mockery of the Temperance. You wonder if they'll ever rest on the decks of its sister. For now, your past and future seem to shrink against the glaring of the challenges ahead. Allow yourself to all of this. This is the adventure that was promised. The advert is still imprinted in your memory. Glory to be had in the event of success. There's no choice but to succeed then. You grip the tiller firmly. You push. The boat lurched forward, bobbing side to side, parting the inky waters. Row! You're gaining speed now. Row! A cadence is reached by all those rowing. The oars lift in unison. Uncomfortable for most, the crew has arranged the equipment as best they can to lift their sitting position to account for the raised edges of the boat. Long before, Nutley begins a periodic ritual of dry heaving over the side of the boat between his turns rowing. Kasha curls over her camera, paranoid of any moisture that may enter its mechanism. Yes, we are leaving this place. Fog finally clears. Actually, no. We are going to the spot of our original mission to investigate, like, some ship, and apparently that's our rendezvous for the rescue ship. Imagine a ship crashes. That's what I'm afraid of. Don't jinx anything. DeFeez, quickly, knock on wood, man. Knock on wood. Back on the open waters again. Terrifying, but profoundly beautiful all at once. By evening, you've nearly escaped the ice. The empty ocean is almost visible on the horizon. Boats lurch. Smell is horrendous, though seemingly enticing a large gathering of snow petrels. They shoot down from the sky at their leisure, scooping up a meal at a time. The mackerel ice fish, I think. How do you know that? My father used to take me fishing wherever he could. Hammond stops rowing momentarily.
Are you sure about that, kid? 'Cause you've been puking for the year straight, at least.
The doctor goes red and tries to prove he can hold it in. Kasha furrows her brow, readying the camera. What do you think it means? It doesn't mean anything. A cold current, most likely, where the ice meets the ocean. Grimly calls from his boat.
It's a bad omen. The living aren't supposed to be out here.
Templeton grumbles to himself something about superstition. With the birds overhead, it's nigh impossible to avoid their droppings. At least it's warmer than the snow. One finds its way into the doctor's hair. A fresh gastral purge follows suit. Kasha looks to you, uncomfortable, shielding the camera. What do you think, Captain? Sailors have made a career of defying where people shouldn't be able to go. Grimley's no different, I'm no different. She seems satisfied with the answer, taking a photo across the water. Porto lifts a fish from the ocean and presents it to Stanberry. The animal smells it before shying away from the food. She drops it back in the ocean and buries herself in the animal furs. After hours of rowing, you finally reach the open ocean. It's impossible to avoid the stingy sprays of the sea as they invade the boats periodically. Everyone is left bailing with whatever they can find. Hats, mugs, even bare hands lift out the water. The crew began to curse into the night, at each other, at the events gone past. It's the only means of protest that doesn't interrupt attempts to remain warm. Refuse to take part, but they allow the others. Out here, each should be allowed their own reprieve. Nutley looks to see if you curse and decides it isn't safe. Templeton at least lets out the odd posh paragraph. I can't imagine Templeton cursing. Lightning flashes to the west, followed by rapturous thunder, underscoring the sound of the sea. Hold fast! Your screams are lost in the thunder, as an abrupt wave smashes against the boats. Rogue wave! Just about crested. A moment passes before the other two lifeboats join you. Every sailor knows the tales of rogue waves, freak anomalies that plague the seas such as these. You hear singing, started by Junior. It soon infects the rest of the sailors' hope, defiant against the storm. The song is about three sisters dancing to seduce a sailor. A second, larger wave hits the boats. The same again, just about. The sailors change key. Sing with them. You don't know the words, but you'll never forget this tune. Echoing as best you can, the others follow suit from beneath the tarp. Even Templeton sings. Jesus! Third, final, and largest of the waves hit the boats. You're lifted near vertical. Water crashes around you. It feels like forever before your boat finally crests a wave. The tiller buckles in your hand. Your eyes burn from the salt of the sea. All three boats make it across. Woo! Yeah, baby! You finally make land! The navigator is first to step onto solid ground. Turns to the rest of you, sodden. We've made it, ladies and gentlemen. Land at... The man clutches his chest. No! 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 Before falling across the sand, the others rush to his aid. No! I knew this would happen. Look out across the ocean and consider the journey thus far. That was so sudden. Honestly, if you were here earlier, that was the consequence of my own actions. You see, the ship doctor Nutley, he predicted this. Oh, you were talking about the achievement. Oh, yeah, no, it was like Act 4, congratulations. But no, this was entirely my fault. Like, Nutley said that Kurt was not fit to lead a lifeboat. And that because, like, he had an arrhythmia and he was showing signs of a heart attack. And I said, we have to take the risk. So, yeah, that's another of my failures.
carpenter sent me. Says we ought to get building some proper gravestones for the dead. Can't say I disagree. I'll get to it on your order.
He leaves. Proper eulogy will also be expected. It would be best if you considered your own words now, Captain. It's a difficult time for all. I have news about Kurt. Good news, mostly. He's stable, resting now, but he should be able to walk when we're through. He's stubborn, isn't he? Frankly, he was lucky that it wasn't worse for him. Sounds like his scouting days may be at an end. Absolutely, Captain, I am telling you, by no account can Kurt partake in any strenuous activity again. He needs as much rest as possible before we make it to land. Thank you, Arthur. It's good to know Kurt is okay. Indeed. I was scared for his chances. He's tough. We've progressed beyond the last known location of the Viscount. Answers to its disappearance may lie on this isle. Captain, once we are through here, I would recommend you scout the area for any sign of human activity. For safety, of course. Approach the engineer, tinkering away at some navigational equipment with his usual sour expression.
Eat.
He places the equipment to the side and lets out a grunt.
Damn thing still doesn't work.
Do you think it could be the environment? Hammond gives you a sideways glance.
Maybe. Couldn't begin to know. Not like we have any bloody experience for this. Not a bloody soul has come this far out south. Who knows what's ahead?
Having trouble. Kurt approaches, a more noticeable limp on the man, forcing him to use his cane.
What do you want?
Still trying to get the compasses to working again?
Threaten that I might.
The look on Kurt's face is one of hesitation. His eyes dart around, doing all to avoid the gaze of Hammond. I have something to declare regarding my previous actions. Young Kurt? Well, I believe that in dire circumstances, pride can often take the better of us.
Stop stalling. What are you trying to say?
I would just like to apologize over our earlier scrap. I got carried away before. I see it did neither of us any good.
You're right there.
It's not in me to hold a grudge, Hammond. Least of all trapped out in this cold.
Enough with the appeals. Just spit it out, why don't you?
We should be working together, and more importantly, I am sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I apologize. Hammond pauses for a moment while looking towards Kurt. After that moment, he returns to tinkering with his equipment before finally speaking.
Accepted.
Excuse me, what was that?
Apology accepted.
Ooh, do I do it? And do you wish to apologize to Kurt, Hammond?
Aye, sure. I apologize.
Apology accepted, Hammond.
Aye, sir.
Well, I suppose I'll be off. Best of luck with your adjustments, Hammond.
There's no chance of getting them working here. We're relying on you.
I'm sure I'm a relic when compared to your machines.
I'm relying on you.
See. Kurt steps away, returning to the camp at large. Honor the dead. Here we honor the memory of Chu Johns. Literally the only guy to die so far. Let's go. Only one death. Oh, wow. Holy crap. Okay. Inspector. We find a letter, some supplies, and a bolt-action rifle. To you who finds this message, here lies the final testament of the Viscount. We made our arrival on the east shore of the island. Before moving on, we established a cabin to mark the landing point. There you will find enough supplies to support a crew of 20 for a full year. While charting the perimeter of the island, crew came across a cavern at the mouth of the central mountain. Captain Whelan decided to split the crew in order to chart the location further. His half have elected to enter the cave through the open stream, while we have been sent to mark the western coast on land. I don't trust the captain. His actions of late have been erratic, cagey. He has avoided all questions from myself and the rest of the crew. This behavior has only exacerbated since encountering the cave. Enclosed is an instrument that may be needed in some time. If you find said instrument to be missing from this cairn, then you will know that the worst has occurred. If you are reading this in our wake, another poor crew sent to this isle, heed my advice. Turn back. There is something truly wrong with this land. It has felt the touch of the Three Sisters, cursed to swallow poor sailors whole. If you are wise, you will not allow it to happen to you. Turn back. Signed, Bertrand Reynolds, head scout of the Viscount. Nutley approaches you. Captain, come a long way, haven't we? You've grown quite a lot in that time. Have I? Am I any taller? Before we move on, there's something I have to confess. Something that I've carried on my back this... I don't feel right keeping it from you any further, so... I allowed Captain Hunt to abandon us. Explain? When the ship was going down, I saw him. I watched as he grabbed his supplies and began to take off onto the ice. He saw me, but he didn't say a word. He knew I was too spineless to do anything. I couldn't even bring myself to tell anyone. He was right. I was too spineless, until now at least, and now you know. Dang. Wow. Okay. That is a hell of a revelation. He knew this whole time that Hunt was alive. Learn from this and move forward. I should have known better before, but you're right. I'm sorry. The truth had to come out. Do what you will with this information. I'll accept anything you decide, Captain. Captain, is there something I should be made aware of? Is this about the Appleton Company? The tinned food? No. Mr. Templeton has been snooping around, interrogating me on my report. It seems, as we approach rescue, he's taken it upon himself to approve what lies in my writing. He has taken it upon himself, correct? You didn't set him up to this, correct? Templeton is acting of his own. Good to know. No stranger to people who want to omit parts of my work. I saw plenty while covering the riots, but I have no intention of censoring this report. A story based in the truth is worthless. You have to leave parts out or fabricate others, then was it a story worth telling in the first place? You could always gloss it up a little. Turn your head to see Kurt approaching, apparently having eavesdropped on the conversation. What do you mean? Well, a story can still be plenty honest, but require a little bit of polish. What about your films? Weren't they honest accounts of your expeditions? Ah, they were. Well, more or less. More or less. There is no objective truth. After all, a camera adds 10 pounds. Then I must have eaten quite a few cameras in my time. Ha! Tasha does not appear to be amused. I doubt the existence of lens distortion gives right to omit my report. You're right, Kosh. Kurt shouldn't suggest you lie about this expedition. I'm suggesting nothing of the sort, but I am no stranger to the world of show business. What I do isn't show business, Kurt. It's journalism. I've been around both long enough to know they're one and the same. You should hear some of the tabloid rumors I've read about myself in my time. I'm aiming to be better than the gutter press, Kurt. You've been part of countless documentaries. Surely you would care about presenting the facts. The facts are not immune to artistic license. I can't believe what I'm hearing. The facts are facts. If you look bad, so be it. Quite a lax look at your reputation, Captain, after all the work you've put in for us. Why are you suggesting this, Gert? I just feel we've braved so much that we deserve a somewhat flattering write-up. So perhaps some omissions are necessary. Such as what? Many of this crew come from backgrounds that best not be shared with the public. And more has happened here that should remain on the ice. If perhaps a member of the crew had an unexpected health issue that made them appear weak. Are you asking me to admit your heart attack? Pretend it didn't happen. I'm not asking anything of you. I'm simply suggesting that the people won't want to hear anything about it like that. When they read of these expeditions, they want to hear of brave and daring adventurers, not weak, ordinary men with weak hearts. You just want to protect your own image, don't you? What? Well, no, it's nothing of the sort, but I'm no fool. I see exactly what you're trying to do. Let's not debate this matter. Wait until we're on our way home. No, this is important. I didn't think you would be so concerned about your image, Kurt. Well, that's your mistake. Mistake? You can't expect to be the perfect role model you'll see in the films. I'm only human. I've been married thrice, hobbled once, and played with every vice there is. What I do have is my exploits and my legacy. I wish you not take that away from me as well. Tasha looks to you, her usual upbeat visage melted way into disbelief. I can't lie on your behalf, Kurt. You don't understand the power of optics. Every part of your report puts my livelihood at stake. Your livelihood or your image? The cold truth is, there's no difference between the two. And you, Captain, do you believe this as well? Oh boy. Oh boy. Leave us be. I'll speak with Kasha. Please, Kasha, take it into consideration. I can't believe you. Simply a matter of painting a flattering picture. That is no difficult ask. Maybe not for you, Kurt. Kasha stares back into her tent as Kurt gives you an uncomfortable glance. The man looks shaken by the response. Above all appears to be deeply embarrassed. Without a word, he staggers back to the heart of the camp. Captain, we've escaped the ice. We're on land. We're so close now, Sean. So very close. We both saw that car and Sean. Captain, the traces of the expedition which came before us. Shaw, I believe we can still find the Viscount. Our mission can continue. You really think there's a chance we actually find it? Not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, surely. I know that after all this time, the specifics of our employ may seem inconsequential, but tell me, Captain, do you think the Appletons would pour all of this effort, putting this many lives at risk, if they didn't think there was something truly paradigm-shifting at the end of it? We still have a mountain to ascend before making that choice concretely. Ask me then. Very well. We can discuss this further once we traverse this mountain. He leaves. Okay. Hold a eulogy for the dead. You tentatively lift yourself onto a crate. Hushed whispers roll around through the audience. Kasha readies her ledger and pencil. They once again await your next words. How will you deliver them? Ooh. Crew look to you, miserable. The scars of the sail past, exposed under the light of day. I would like to begin by honoring those we have lost. Eulogy begins. So brothers begin a tune together in remembrance. You recite the names and stations of all lost to the ice and ocean. Each individual name ceases to sting different groups of the crew. By the time you're finished, not a single soul is left without their affecting moment. Works up, Gordon. May all be granted their rest. Kurt speaks up. Our work's not finished yet. We still have a mountain to scale. We all saw the cairn from the Viscount. Across that path is safety. A cabin with enough supplies lasts us until rescue. Templeton clears his throat. What is our current priority, Captain? Came here for a reason. The Viscount. So close now. There's some murmurings among the crew. The idea of finding the Viscount seems a task long forgotten by those before you. The assurance of solid ground seems to stir those listening. Thank God! 50 decorum! Yes! 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 Oh! Yes! Okay. Well said, Captain. Indeed. Well, we don't have much time. Best moving on back to work. The crew are granted the time they need before they eventually disperse, returning to their roles at camp. He stands over you, bug-eyed. For a moment, you think you're back on the Temperance. What's going on? It's Calder! Get up. There's food and supplies missing from the stores. I think she's trying to make a run for it. Lead the way. Two of you charge out the tent and into the snow. I found tracks heading up toward the mountain pass. Follow the tracks away from camp. Half an hour before you finally spot her ascending the dead mountain. Shh, there she is. Let's approach slowly. Follow my lead. Both creep up. Goldo picks up on the sound, slowly turning back around to spot both of you in her line of sight. She clears her throat. Captain Shaw, Hammond, to what do I owe this surprise? Don't play coy. We all know what you're up to. Then you seem to be several steps ahead of myself. What am I apparently up to? Please, educate me. Getting a head start on tomorrow's scouting? A fine idea. You think you can just abandon the crew in the dead of night? This isn't a matter of can, it's this question of should. And from my position, you've really left me with no alternative. At least tell me why you're trying to leave. Stanberry's expecting. Then you should be doing what's best for the pup. What does it look like I'm doing, Robin? You leave, you're ensuring their demise. Perhaps, but there's more of a chance out here than with the rest of you. I'm not going to allow Stanberry and I to be a part of this expedition any further. Do you really think the two of you will be better off without the rest of us? I do. Those puppies will be my new litter. I'll start over. Certainly not the first time I've had to do that. Man! You're to come to me first, Quote. We both know that wouldn't have worked. Then let me convince you now. I'm listening. Davies, be quiet. Shush. No, but, Davies, how much of that did you hear? Because a lot has happened since you left. You need a refresher? You might feel that... Nothing? Okay, so you know Stanberry's... Well, the problem is, like... We finally got to land. We discovered, like... remains of, like a little rock thing with stuff in it from the Viscount. You might feel that you don't need us, but we need you, both of you. And Stanberry is expecting puppies. I don't know if you heard that part. Yeah. That's why she's trying to leave. Because the... Oh yeah, no, because we made it to solid ground, the morale is up, which is good. You've seen Templeton. I'm going to need people on my side who care more about that, more than his stupid mission. You've proven you can take care of living things. Can you help me do the same? The lady is silent for a minute. Finally walks over to you. The three of you begin the long trek back. Stanberry follows patiently. Not a word is spoken on the journey back. I'm not going to lie. I think I actually profited fuel off of that encounter. Like, I'm pretty sure I profited fuel off of that encounter. Like, I'm pretty sure I had, like, 14 fuel, and now I have 20. Oh, my God. That's just funny to me. Okay. Kasha, careful! You turn your head to spot Kasha perched precariously over the edge, her camera in hand, landing another shot from her position. It's a great shot at the horizon, trust me.
You've got a good shot at falling to your death. Get back over here.
The ground isn't safe. You can't trust anything beneath your feet this high up. Kasha doesn't heed their warnings, instead lighting up the shop and snapping it cleanly. There, no issue. And this just might be the banner image for my report. If the civilian is done being foolish, might we move on? Kasha nods and turns back around to join the rest of the crew. Only for her to slip on the ice beneath. I had zero. Davies, Cordell also stole some of our supplies. She stole, apparently she stole like 20 food and all of my wood. But then I got 20 fuel out of it because she was supposed to steal 20 and only got 14. I find that funny. Anyway, you lunge forward and pull Kasha forward so she isn't hurtling over her edge, but her initial stumble sent the camera falling below. That was a close one. My camera! Be thankful the camera took the plunge and not yourself, young one. Despite reassurances, Kasha moves back to the edge of the cliff, peering over, searching for her camera. I can't lose it. Everything from this expedition was on there. Wait, I see it. Nonsense, it's a blip on the rocks. You can't see ground from this distance. No, it's not on the ground. It's snagged on the ice. Not too far down. I can climb back down and...
Not a hope. You want to go back to climbing? If I lose that camera, and my entire reason for being on this nightmare goes with it. I'm getting that camera. He turns to you. Captain, we have to do something.
Oh. Oh. God. Ah. Yeah, no, I want that camera too, but you fall to your death, it's your own damn fault. I'm not putting anyone else at risk over this. Kasha moves quickly forwards to retrieve her camera. Kurt steps forward. I'll do it. She wants the camera. Okay. This is another freaking conundrum! Because the thing is, yes, it's her camera, she wants it, it's her fault this situation is here to begin with. But Kurt is a renowned explorer. He has the experience required to do this sort of climb. But Kurt has also recently suffered a heart attack. Like, I don't want Kasha to die. I really don't. But I also don't want Kurt to die. Okay, the thing is, there's three options here. There's either Kurt will climb down to get the camera, Kasha will climb down to get the camera, or I stop them both and leave the camera to the wastes. Nuh-uh, what do you mean, nuh-uh? I mean, I know we're not going to leave the camera behind, but... I need to stop messing with this pen. She's useless without a camera. But they did say she does have her notes. The thing is, I'm concerned that going after the camera with either of these two is a bad idea. We'll still have the notes without her. Maybe. The thing is, I don't see why some of the other scouts can't do it. She'll probably die, but the problem is, he will probably die. Because he's had a heart attack recently, and literally, Arthur Nutley said, do not let him do any more strenuous activity. This counts as strenuous activity. Okay. I'm committing to let her do it. No, you won't. I insist, Captain. I want that camera. It's easy. I have two options. No camera, or she picks it. she can survive. Maybe she has that dog in her. I don't know, like, literally everyone on the ship calls her civilian. Fine. I'll let her cook. I am not losing it. She rushes forward, prepared to go alone, but the navigator steps before her, insisting he help. Hurt affixes the rope to Kasha, locking her in tight with the climbing gear. Leave the climbing to me. As a civilian, your safety is top priority. I would suggest rethinking this plan of action. We cannot afford to lose our navigator. It's because I'm the navigator, I'm going down. If I can't save that camera, no one can. That would be the preferable option. Kurt pays no heed to the protests of Templeton, continuing to climb down in Kasha in tow. Oh, I didn't pick this! They're risking their lives for a bloody picture box. You can stop this, Shaw. That's what I'm saying. Why is he there? Kurt. No! No, you mother... Kurt and Kasha begin to slide down the wall of the cliff at a steady pace, Kasha keeping her eyes on her camera at all times. Easy now, you can do this, Kurt. Reassuring yourself isn't very reassuring to me, you know. Okay, think I can get it from here. Think, both of you, please don't make any rash movement. She collects the camera. And there we go. Now get back up here, you madman! Job well done, so much for bad luck. Yes, now let's climb back up. Kurt begins to adjust the lines on his climbing gear, but the extra weight from the camera causes the rock beneath Kurt's feet to crumble, and the former film star goes hurtling back. He snaps to a standstill, the line between himself and Kasha still intact, but the weight of the big man's fall pulls Kasha back away from the face of the cliff. Blast! Kasha, are you alright? I can't see the cliff. What's happening? The blasted line won't hold with me. Pull us up. The rest of the crew hang back, lest any added weight at the cliff's edge cause an even more dire incident. As you look down, you see the pair flailing helpless. Kasha spots you. Captain! Kurt, what did I f***ing say? Deviz, Kurt did not listen to me. I even threatened to dock his pay, and he was like, Captain, that ain't working on me. And now look what's happening. They're dangling over the pit, they're dangling over the cliff, and according to Kurt, the line won't hold with his chonky bahonky on it. No doubt the dangling weight of Kurt is also putting strain on the back end of the rope as it's tied to a jagged rock at the peak. You notice the rope beginning to fray at the edge. So does Kurt. The navigator pulls out his knife. Kasha! She looks down at the man as she shouts. I always promised myself I'd lose a few bastarding pounds. Bit late for that, I suppose. Take a photo. What? Take a photo of me.
For prosperity. Once in a lifetime shot. No! Do it. I'm afraid the old ticker won't hold out. Can't get any more strenuous than this.
He isn't listening. I'll cut this rope before I let you cut yours. Let him do it. Essentially, this is either kill both of them, let Kurt kill himself, or try to save them both. Let's gamble.
Do you really believe that, Captain?
As she reaches the peak, she falls to her knees in the snowy peak, distraught.
Pasha, what happened?
Our navigator cut himself loose to save her, didn't he? You nod.
I must admit, I thought his heroics were empty. No, he was a true hero. That mad bastard.
Never thought he had it in him. Pasha collects herself, rising to her feet and looking ahead.
Let's get through this. I need to finish my report. For Kurt's sake. For Kurt. Aye, for Kurt's sake. Let's move on, Captain. I told him! I told him that... I knew him going down with her was not a good idea. I know he shouldn't have gone, but he didn't listen! He didn't listen to me!
And now that's gonna cause problems because we don't have a navigator and our compasses are screwed. Okay. Grabbing everyone's attention is a cave in the rock wall.
A cave?
Aye, should keep us safe from the elements.
Still, what lies inside? It may prove a danger. The crew get to work, setting up a camp at the peak of the mountain. Set up. Be going. All right.
He's really gone.
He saved me, and then Pasha examines the camera in her hands.
His story will be told, Captain. Kurt Darling. He was a hero.
That bloody navigator. Complete idiot. Always trying to make himself a hero. And he bloody did it. Can't even talk about shite with him now. We'll miss him, Captain.
Do you think he would lure our navigator at the last hurdle? Reckless or no, what he achieved is admirable. The legacy of Kurt Darling will survive through his heroic actions. Captain, it's time. We are at the crossroads and a decision needs to be made. We both read the Karen. We know the location of the Viscount lies in this cave. We are this close. Our mission's end lies in wait. And what if pursuing it causes us to miss our rescue? Then they can always send another ship. The Appertons won't stop at one. If what we read is correct, the shore cabin should hold enough rations to last us a full year. We can afford the risk of missing a single rescue ship. I think it's worth it. Indeed, you should inform the crew of our movement as soon as you leave this tent. I know you will make the right call, Captain.
Abandon the mission? No. Hang on. Find the crew's science officer overlooking several petri dishes containing various materials picked from the walls of the cave.
Curiouser and curiouser.
What's curious?
Captain, observe the materials we've just uncovered in the entrance of this cave. Copper, tungsten, and antimony? These deposits are more likely found in lakes, not all in a cave, let alone a mountaintop cave in the polar region. Nothing about it seems natural.
Could this be why the Appertons were looking for this area?
Perhaps. Captain, may I ask you a question?
I feel you'll ask regardless.
I've assumed you must enjoy my questions at this stage. You keep humoring them. Well, regardless, we have been working together for quite some time now, and in that time, I've been able to evaluate you. After assessing your abilities and your decision-making, I can safely conclude that you are more than capable in your role as captain. As such, I would like to offer you a job.
You wish to work with me again, Templeton?
My wishes are irrelevant. You are more than qualified for the role. I can easily recommend you to the company head. It's time I told you the truth of who we are working for. I have a feeling I won't like this. I believe you will find this information most valuable.
Templeton reels a tinned can of rations. He hands it over to you. The woman modeling on the front stares back at you before you look back to Templeton. What, am I working for the model?
Yes, actually. Her name is Minerva Apperton. She is the president of the Apperton Tinning Company.
But why would she fund this expedition?
The same reason anyone would. Tinned food is perhaps the lowest priority with the company in today's age, as you can likely tell by the shoddy work on our rations. Instead, Lady Apperton is focused on turning her company into the only option in commerce, which is why she sought after the expedition of the Viscount. She's interested in what the Viscount found on the ice.
Tell me everything you know.
No doubt there are several details Minerva has kept hidden from even myself, but I will tell you what I can. The original expedition of the Viscount was carried out by the government, a race to find the southernmost point of the world and charter it out in the name of glory and of science. But upon arrival, it appears they discovered the same strange environments as we have, and so they chose to investigate instead of heading back. And contrary to legend and hearsay, it wasn't the cold and the starvation that drove the crew mad. It was what they found here that took their minds. And just what did they find? That part remains a mystery, but what we do know, there was a witness, a survivor washed ashore, half mad, their tongue cut out. They lived only long enough to give us a hint at what we're looking for. It is unknown what exactly lies in wait for us should we find the Viscount. But from what we know, crew of that vessel found something world-changing. This is no mere treasure. What they found was unnatural in nature, a paradox existing at the southernmost point of the world, and whoever can retrieve it, bring it back to civilization, will shape the path of human advancement for the next century. Our benefactor is not susceptible to mere rumor and hearsay, I assure you. We did not risk our lives on a whim. Then it is our top priority to recover what the Viscount found. Precisely my thoughts, Captain. It is good to see we are both of the same level mind. Now, I have told you all that I know. Please lead me to my research. Oh, Captain. You never officially responded to my offer. Do you wish to work with the Appleton Company after this? I will take it under consideration. See that you do, Captain. I wish to speak with you on a matter. One matter, concerning your report. Put simply, I have a story for you to include regarding who I am. You're a kennel master. That is true, but not the whole truth. Well, this is sudden. I've been curious about your past. I have no doubt you were. Frodo returns to Kasha, as the reporter quickly scrambles to gather her notepad and pen. Now, I am certain you have heard them call me Lady Cordial. Yes, frequently. I asked around, and apparently it was a moniker granted to you due to how you spoke. Well, those who doubt me with that name have no idea the irony in doing so. The truth is, I am a noble, or rather I was. What? Are your ears failing you? I cannot repeat. I was born and raised with the nobility. I don't mean to call you a liar, but that's just a big claim. Ingrid Cordelia Weston. What? Keep your ear to the ground often. I'm sure you've heard of her. Yes, actually, she's a distant relative of the monarchy. Had a seat for MP for a brief period. Went missing unexpectedly. So let's mean. Hello. Hi. Welcome. So there's been a lot going on. Well, I am Ingrid Cordelia Weston. I have all the proof I need to show you. No need, I believe you. You do? It would certainly be an odd thing to lie about. I assume you are aware of the political system, Kasha. To no end. Researching it was possibly the most dull and harrowing part of my last report. And yourself, Captain? Vaguely. Well, then allow me to refresh your memory. Well, as a distant cousin of said monarch, I was placed in one of those parliamentaries. As you can imagine, I had no interest in being MP. My aversion toward human interaction was no different in my youth. From the age I received my first dog as a gift in my childhood, I have much preferred their company. Surely there was once a time where you weren't such a recluse. Well, you have encountered and interviewed many of the nobility in your time, correct? Correct. Would you choose to spend your time amongst those people? Fair point. So, this whole time you've been traveling with a runaway MP? Yes, I suppose it does sound quite unusual. I'm fine to shocking you were never found. Perhaps that would be true for another in my position, though they would never say as much. My departure was quite mutual. But why did you leave? The reasons for that are quite simple. I refuse to live that life any longer. In that world, in my position, certain things were expected of me. Act with decorum, attend every social event, keep your real self hidden, until you're suitable to be shipped off into a political marriage. A grim reality, one I wanted no part of. My choice was clear, and I didn't hesitate in my thought for a moment. I left home in the dead of night, taking only two things with me. My certificate for birth, for reasons more practical than sentimental, and my dog for reasons more sentimental than practical. I started a breeding kennel in the capital, earned the moniker of Lady Cordial among the common folk, and from then I was free. Free to feel the ground beneath my feet. I see. So trapped in a restrictive role in society, you broke free of your chains, yearning to be independent. I suppose, yes. Just like a wild pack of dogs, able to roam free. Please do not include a surface-level poetic interpretation of my actions. Poetics are my calling, but okay. Not even slightly. That life is simply not for me. Thank you for sharing, Cordo, but why have you shared this with me? My report, it will expose your identity to everyone. Why would you allow that? Because I trust you to tell my story. And I no longer have anything to hide. Thank you. I promise I won't let you down. I'll tell the truth, whole truth of your tale. I know you will, assuming you leave out that tripe about wild dogs. And yourself, Captain? Speaking of dogs, how's Stanberry? Faring well. Still pregnant. What? Stanberry is pregnant? Yes. Quite fortunate for me after what happened to my kennel. What do you intend to do with the litter? I intend on replacing the kennel I lost, piece by piece. Stanberry will birth a new generation of sled dogs. So you'll be continuing with your line of work? Yes. I'd much sooner begin again as a kennel master than to return to nobility. Agreed. So that's your entire story? More or less, yes. I'm sure Captain Shaw has no objections to this tale. What say you, Captain? Arrowwood, thank you for sharing. I appreciate your listening. Can't believe you would trust us with... Thank you, friend. Do not mistake this for closeness. I simply trust your credentials enough to consider you a professional. But you're welcome, friend. The dark cave network reveals itself into an opening. There she is. Wow. Okay, hang on. What? I mean, that's pretty as hell. But how in the world? There it stands before you, the Viscount, where it was left by its former crew, but not as it was left. The ship stands quite different indeed. The snow filtering into the grotto seems almost frozen in time. The weather itself remains fixed in awe of this impossibility sprouting from the great lost ship. Snap to attention. The expedition's goal is in reach. After 5 years, no, 6. After the most roundabout road possible, you finally found it. Fill your lungs with air. Fuck! Yes! You throw your R's into the air, flailing uncontrollably in manic celebration. Junior soon joins you in celebration, throwing his own arms into the air and yelling at the top of his lungs. To your surprise, even Dr. Nutley joins you in expletive-soaked glee. Templeton clears his folk in an attempt to keep you focused. You realize the others are not staring at you. Cough and straighten yourself before turning back to address the rest of the crew. My word, it's... Tasha appears to be lost for words. She slowly raises her camera and snaps a photograph of the ship. My goodness. Shaw. Despite the vegetation, the Viscount looks to be intact. What is happening? This is the Viscount. This is the ship that we were here for in the first place. This is why this whole expedition started in the first place. And now we're here. And we don't know why there's a cherry blossom tree growing from it, but I guess we'll find out. I shouldn't hazard to get my hopes up, but remarkable. Truly remarkable. Captain, we must study this at once. I was concerned, Shaw. I was worried we may not find anything in the end, but this is more than I could have possibly imagined. How could something like this exist out here? It's just not possible, is it? Believe your eyes, Doctor. I can only imagine what Kurt would have said if he saw this. He would have loved it. Wow. Grimly it looks familiar, doesn't it? Aye. Tree in the snow. The fruit of the three sisters. Right? That old tale would keep me up at night. Careful, Shaw. There's many sailor songs about this, none of them good. Awfully superstitious, don't you think? Any good sailor would be. Besides, we're looking at it now, aren't we?
What the fuck? Am I seeing things here?
You are not.
You got to be fucking joking.
I know. This tree.
This tree? I don't give a shit about some bloody tree.
What? Then what are...
The Viscount, look at it. It's seaworthy.
You know that from a look.
I know every inch of it. It's just like its twin.
We can sail this.
Captain,
This is truly discovery for the ages. We need a moment to collect our thoughts. Under no circumstances is anyone to touch that boat. For all we know, that plant could be poisonous. We must practice extreme caution.
well, you're the botanist, aren't you? Take a look at it.
Stanberry, please. I'm no expert on plants, but something about that thing unnerves me. I don't trust it for a second.
I'm bloody sure of it. If we can get it moving, we'll be back on the ocean.
Well, we should not lose focus. Should we get to work setting up a makeshift camp in the grotto? It's locked. Man!
Bruh! Oh my god!
Huh? I don't trust that. What? Frick? That's connected, like, directly to the tree. What the frick? What? Heart of the Viscount. The engine of the Viscount. Classic retrofitted steam train model. Twisted amongst the roots of the tree. Corpse. An old skeleton in what appears to be a captain's uniform. Their bones have fused to the roots around it. They've clearly been here for quite some time. Inside their coat you find a ship's key. You enter to find a ghost sitting before you. Littered around the room are countless familiar scrawlings. Crew wanted. Able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition. Months of darkness. That's the advertisement from the beginning of the game. She must not have it. Always stuck in the ice. I can't read that word. Oh, whoops. Cordell, Jr., Hammond, Templeton, Burt, Arthur. Cavity. Those are names of the crew members. I guess that was boats? I don't know. You wouldn't happen to have a light, would you? Hunt, is that you? The flesh, my friend. That's Captain Shaw. He looks up at his hat on your head. Yes, I suppose it is, isn't it? I thought you were dead. Not dead. Not quite alive either. Somewhere in between, I think. Some sort of trick. He looks up at your head. You seem to be wearing my hat. Don't try to change it. I never liked that hat anyway. A bit aggrandizing, don't you think? How's my ship? Gone. Did its best, but it couldn't last. Shame. Good to know she put up a fight. May the sea soothe their spirits. I suppose it's wrong to call her my ship anyway. Which reminds me, Templeton told you about Minerva, no doubt. And what exactly do you know about Minerva Appleton? Minerva's story is a rather tragic one. Are you sure you want to hear it? Yes. Beautiful beyond reproach. You'd swear you'd never seen someone so idyllic. Anyway, the young starlet had originally found herself at the helm of an illustrious stage career. Following that came business office, modeling, advertisements, and of course, love. Well, doomed love. She was widowed, you see, but not before winning the heart and hand of the son of a little tinned foods company. Where's she now? Haven't seen her in years. Templeton seems to carry out her dealings. She's very protective of her identity. Might have taken Minerva the rest of her life, but well, let's just say the Appletons have their hands in a lot more than just tins of peaches these days. Still doesn't explain what she wants with the Viscount. Viscount's expedition was a government affair. Deduction would say that Minerva would like to keep whatever she finds for herself. Get ahead of the game, as it were. What was it researching? I have some questions of my own I need answered first, Robin. Now, I want to know, which Shaw is speaking to me right now? What do you mean? How are the Stoke brothers faring? Alive and well, no thanks to you. That is good to hear. You may land after the sail, I presume. How is everybody else? How did you fare on the ice? Kasha dropped her camera during the climb. Kurt gave his life trying to recover it. Ah, Kurt. Going out the valiant hero, eh? What of the camera itself? That we were able to say. That camera is the most important item on this expedition. It's the only way any of this will be believed. Why didn't you steal it as well, then? You've met her? I'm fairly certain she goes to bed clinging the thing. Didn't get the chance. The doctor managed to stay with us at least. Found his nerve out on the ice. Now that is pleasant to hear. He was the only crew member I was unsure of. Didn't want to upset his father by getting the poor boy killed. Not that any of that matters now. Kennel Master attempted to leave the expedition once we made land. I talked her out of it. Not easy to do. You must have made a convincing argument. I'm sure you'll be thrilled to learn Mr. Templeton is fine. I expected as much. Has he given you much grief? You'll never find out. Really? You say so. Oh, you're wondering what led me here. You might be able to tell. It isn't a particularly hopeful answer. I failed my men. Be specific. Well, there was the four of us, and I'm sure you quickly figured it out. Murph, Corvid, Joe, and myself grabbed what we could and headed off with one of the larger lifeboats. Where are the others now? Murph was the first to go. They knew what they were doing. They made their choices, and now they have passed. How did the cold take them? Everyone. Custom of the sea occurred. What do you mean? It was Corvid's idea. There was a protest, but after we learned the tins were poisoned with lead, we had no choice. Oh, he's a cannibal now. Jesus. You're a monster. The other two argued over partaking. Smurf refused, instead subjecting himself to further tins. He didn't last long after that. He turned sour by the fourth day and attacked us, then froze himself. Pollard and I made it into the mountain. Then she made the impossible choice. She offered herself to the mission. The man goes quiet. I can't get the taste out of my mouth, Shaw, no matter what I do. I think I'm going. You don't understand, Shaw. Every time this happens, my road always leads here, no matter what. It always leads to this. You've seen that tree outside, haven't you? What is this, hon? This is what the Appletons have been after. We're here for this. All roads lead here, Shaw. All roads? All roads. I have eaten of this fruit countless times, and yet I'm still here. We have heard this conversation countless times. Different me, a different you. We keep coming back here. Do you regret your choices, Shaw? I remember you told me the sign of a good leader is willpower. Do you still stand by that? I do. That's commendable, Robin. The worst thing any one of us can do, Robin, is become the consequences of someone else's plan. Maybe you've been the best Shaw you can be, maybe not, but you still can be. He gestures toward the fruit. With this, you can go back. Change the path to me. Speak like you've been in this cave for years. I haven't, and I have. Every time I've eaten this fruit, every past loop comes freshly back to my mind, and then I send my mind back once more. You can do the same, Robin. You can go back again. You won't really remember, but part of you will want to try something else. Some things will stay the same. We will always get stuck. The temperance is always lost. But you can save lives, save rations, perfect your leadership. If you eat the fruit, that is. Open up that eye of yours. He pushes the fruit forward. What do you say, Robin? Honestly, I don't regret my decisions. I know 2 Johns died, and Kurt also died. But Kurt, I tried to stop. He didn't listen. I doubt much could be done about that. Without saving the camera, anyway. 2 Johns. He was a good man. But honestly, only losing 1 member out of this whole ordeal, on hard difficulty, mind you, on my first playthrough, my path is settled, Hunt. Well, at least this means you're proud of your choices. We should head out, Robin. We have people waiting, I understand. Been an age since I've seen my crew. Oh, but before we do, that tree out there, you plan to take it back to the Appletons? That's our mission, yes. Okay. I'm going to burn it to the ground. Are you ready for the big reveal? What should we say? Yes, I'm ready. Here we go. I'm eager to see the look on Templeton's face. The 2 of you pace towards the rest. Templeton is the first to notice you. As predicted, the look on his face is a unique concoction of shock, anger, and mortification. Templeton, I fear to have found your lost captain. Other heads rapidly turn in your direction. One by one, they abandon their work and rush to assemble to see the sight themselves. Oh, shoot, what did I do? Oh, exercise. Oh, I forgot I had that enabled. Yeah, I'll you know what, give me a minute, Synthetic. I'm dealing with something right now. We certainly have a lot to clear up before we continue.
Aye, that's a bloody understatement. Bloody hell, it's actually him. Walking corpse.
The others begin to mutter frantically. Hunt, you're still alive.
Ah, the doctor made it.
Good, I need you to fix up my teeth. Excuse me?
He survived this entire time. I'm going to struggle to convince people that my report is true at this rate. This is, quite the shock.
I knew the look on his face would be worth it.
But, perhaps you would like to clarify our situation.
Aye, I'd like to know what happened myself.
Gods, is that Grimley? It's good to see you again.
Where are the rest, Hunt? The rest. Smurf, Corvid, Joe, where are they?
They didn't make it.
All these years, and just like that, they're gone. Did they at least receive good deaths?
As best they could, Grimley. Now is not the time to dwell on those gone. Captain.
Yes?
No, Captain Shaw. How in the world did you find this man?
Oh.
He's partaken in the custom of the sea. To those who know what it means, exhibit reactions. Others are left confused. For those of you confused, the custom of the sea is cannibalism, apparently. Hunt looks at the ground, ashamed. The worst outcome to a situation that he alone is entirely responsible. Has he enlightened you as to why he left?
Aye, now we know the bastard isn't dead. He's just a traitor.
Mind your words, Hammond.
Show some respect.
I know I told you the man was dead. I was clearly wrong. Hunt abandoned us so he could get a start. He means to destroy the Viscount. Captain, I think it's time we open the floor to the rest of the crew. Something tells me many of them have words to share. Hunt, why did you bring me aboard this expedition?
Excuse me?
Doctor, this is hardly the time to work out your insecurities. The floor is open, Templeton. Quite so. Hunt, I have been asking myself that question since you left, since I saw you leave. Pardon, you what?
You saw Hunt leave, and you didn't stop him?
He couldn't stop Hunt and his men. What does it matter if he saw him?
In the past now. We won't hold that against you, Arthur.
I know, but I still need to know.
Remember that? You looked like a frightened deer when you saw me ready to go.
Is that why you brought me on board? Because I couldn't stop you? Because I was young, naive, and easily manipulated? It is, isn't it?
Hunt tilts his head in confusion.
Hells no.
Oh?
No, it was a favor to your father. He's my barber.
That's it? That's the entire reason?
Aye, he's very good. Asked me to toughen up his boy a bit. Seems like it's done the trick.
Tasha lets out a small chortle before covering her mouth to stop herself.
Arthur did that himself. To be honest, I was worried from the beginning that my father was involved, and yet, after all that's happened, I'm actually relieved this reason is so benign. This entire time, it didn't matter. I put more thought into why I was here than Hunt ever did. The doctor has no choice but to laugh at the absurdity of it all. We are getting away from the point at hand. Anyone else apparently require a psychological evaluation? You turn your back to the crew and find your face to face with Hammond. He darts past you and confronts Hunt.
Enough bloody games! You should have gone down with the ship. That's tradition, you coward!
Tradition would want all of us dead. Best not to follow that now, I think. Since where did you care for tradition, Hammond?
I don't. I'm calling the bastard a hypocrite.
Watch your mouth, Hammond.
How about Hunt watches himself?
Don't
threaten him, Hammond. Don't forget, he's our captain.
He left us to die, bastard!
Indeed. To pick and choose when tradition matters, it's shameful, no?
Don't even try to defend him!
Really looking to you to make sense of all this. Is there anything you would like to add, Captain Shaw? Take this opportunity to come. The rest of the crew is still watching and waiting. No one else has any qualms to settle, we should move on. We cannot wait around here forever, Captain. This ship, this tree, what is our next course of action?
Isn't it about time you told them about the tree?
Hunt, what do you know of this?
I'm sure you're very interested in knowing, Richard.
Anyone would be.
This is what your employer seeks.
The fruit of this tree.
It changes everything. It will change the world. I have tasted the fruit countless times. I've seen countless pass through this moment.
My word. He's truly gone insane. No surprise that man has lost his mind. Isolation out here would happen to anyone. Insane or no, this tree is unnatural. There's something wrong with it. That much we can agree with. It's fascinating.
Listen to me. To hell with Abertons. They can't be allowed to have this. Nobody should.
What are you suggesting?
It needs to be destroyed. Burnt to the ground.
What? Hunt, this is quite possibly the most important discovery of our age. It needs to be studied. Barring that, you were hired by the Appletons to retrieve it, not decide your own ethical judgment. Templeton's right, Hunt. We have an obligation to our employer.
Our employer? Bah! Regardless, I am captain of this expedition, and my word is final.
A long silence falls amongst the proceedings. Rufus Hunt, you are not the captain of this expedition.
What? Then who is? Shaw? Bah! Shaw's the first mate. Shaw, that was a temporary agreement. I've returned and reclaimed my role.
Unfortunately, Hunt, I have read our contracts quite thoroughly. Templeton produces his copy from his jacket pocket. In event that the captaincy is held in contention, the correct course of action is to hold a vote. Any officer of the crew may put themselves forward to claim the title. And that's what we'll have. The crew should decide for themselves.
A vote? I welcome it.
The contract also states that candidates should put forward their selection for the first mate position. The selection of first mate is allowed to make their case to the crew in an open forum as to why they should select their preferred candidate.
Good luck with that. Let's get to it then. Come on, you lots. A captain's vote requires a deck. Board now. Let's end this.
The crew tentatively board the vessel. Proceedings commence.
No need for introductions. We're far past the point for that. There's so much I've seen in all my days leading vessels like this. The sorts you lot would hear songs of and doubt every word of.
But what I've seen here, it goes so far beyond any of that. What stands before you is so much bigger than any of us. I've walked this path before, so many times. Half of you can attest to that. I understand if you look at me as a deserter, a coward, a traitor. You have every reason to. But you should ask yourselves where you stand, where your road took you, always. Here with me. Even in my absence, I've led you to where you needed to be. Hunt clears his throat before pointing to the tree.
This thing is an abomination. The power it holds is too great for any one person to possess.
Hunt holds up the fruit.
Do you wish to hand this, the quite literal fruits of our labor, over to the employer who would have us die out here for their gains? The employer who would not even entrust you their name? An employer who would leave us out to die on the ice, that would refuse to send rescue?
There's a... Whoa.
Robin Shaw was a fine officer, but Shaw could only hold down the fort in my stead. Shaw did not weather the seas. Shaw did not discover the Viscount. I did. You should judge Shaw in the officer's own words. When we last spoke on the Temperance, Shaw told me that the mark of a leader comes in willpower. I ask you, What has willpower gotten you over a solid, proper plan? Do you think the will of Robin Shaw can carry you any further? Now, I believe it's time my first mate said a few words. Grimley.
Grimley said so. We'll keep it short. Captain Rufus Hunt is a man who I would trust with my life. Always has been. When Junior and I were but lads, he took us in when we had nowhere else to go. Since then, he's been the best captain we could have asked for. Shaw couldn't live up to that standard. If you trust me, you should trust Hunt. Grimley steps down.
Thank you, Grimley.
It's time you speak, Shaw, who awaits with bated breath. Hunt has already had his chance to speak. Now it's time to refute his words. You have traveled so far with this crew, and now they stand. All seem to be hoping that your next words will instill in them a confidence, an assurance that all this time spent with you has been worth the trouble. You pause, collecting yourself for a moment before making your first statement. Let me be clear. My opponent is a man who's committed the worst crime imaginable upon his crew. You may not see me as the perfect candidate, but I have not, nor will I fall so far as Rufus Hunt. I believe the key to great leadership is a sense of willpower. Our journey is plain proof of this. However, it was not me who displayed this great will. I owe the will to my crew for pushing me forward when I would falter. I see before me many different faces from many different backgrounds. And yet, look at you. Here and now, you all stand side by side, shoulder to shoulder. We have more in common with each other now than anyone else on this world. We look around, examining each other, taking a moment to consider the souls who have traveled with them to the ends of the earth, the souls they intend to travel back with. I haven't had a bad word to say about this lot. Frankly, their music is some of the finest I've had the honor of hearing. Thank you. I've had my views on these people for some time, but I see now that I was wrong. Here, we are all brothers in arms. Whatever I thought about landlubbers and imperialists, that doesn't matter anymore. We're all the one crew, aren't we? Your thoughts turn to the Viscount, the tree sprouting from its back. You must make your intentions clear. Send an envoy out to meet with the rescue ship. They could be here any moment now. Time for fear is over. Let us all stand united and plunge ourselves headfirst into the depths.
nod back at you. Mortal steps forward. It's been a long time since I was expected to give a speech. Please allow me to keep this rather brief. Arf! Even Stanberry would like to a word in. All positive, Shaw. I have dealt with a great deal of employers. Beyond that, I have spoken with nobles, wined and dined with royalty, made deals with every ship captain you can imagine. And not a single one would see me stand here and stake my reputation in their favor. None but Shaw. Robin Shaw has proven a different breed entirely. One I can respect. I know all of you can see it as well. For better or for worse, none of you have dealt with a Robin Shaw in your past. Rufus Hunt's as common as the dirt beneath your boot. That sort will never pull us from the depths. But Shaw, I trust Shaw.
Yes! 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 Holy shit. As the vote comes to a close, Hunt stares at you in shock.
Well, there you have it, Shaw. Suppose I can't argue with that, can I? I take it you'll respect the result then. Hunt eyes you carefully. Perhaps. Remains to be seen. I, for one, am glad to have such petty businesses behind us. I am glad to see you in charge, Shaw. Still, Hunt is an issue. As is my understanding, he has committed more than a few crimes against this expedition. Frankly, I care not. There are no laws on the ice. The decision is yours, Shaw. I'm curious on that myself. Well, Shaw, you're the captain. What should you do with me? Apprehend him. He'll be taken back to the land as our prisoner. You may well put me to death now, then. I doubt I received a softer sentence on land. Captain, we'd best decide on the matter of this plant. Templeton is right that this is a truly great discovery, but I do not know what others will make of it. Regardless, it is up to you. We should take samples from the tree, for private study. Thank you, Captain. I will keep it safe, I promise. We'll move in collecting samples from the tree. Its bark, to its leaves, most importantly, fruit held on its branches.
No, damn you, you can't let Appleton have it, Shaw. You just can't.
Minerva Apperton will not have this tree. Make sure of that.
You best.
Captain, what do you mean? Best not to curry Hunt's favor with empty words. All that remains, then, is a method of escape. The rescue ship by this benefactor. It is unlikely we can make it to the shore in time, correct? That does leave us in a difficult position.
Oh. Final decision regarding the ship and its fate must be decided. Speaks to Stanberry. Good girl, Stanberry. Girl. To be honest with you, Shaw, I'm still trying to wrap my head around this madness. Well, I doubt such knowledge will be out of our hands once we return to land, correct? Still, I suppose we should be proud in our discovery. You wouldn't have made it this far without your crew. Or Korean, or Rose, or Pascal, or Danbury. I did not accomplish much on my own, Captain. All that I ask is my kennel be remembered. It would be so odd to return to land. My name will be in the papers soon. No doubt I'll be recognized for my past. I doubt you'll enjoy the attention we're bound to receive. You're certainly not wrong, Shaw. I believe I'll find a new home. Start over with a new kennel. I've done as much before. I intend to do so again. With any luck, we will not meet again. It's been good knowing you, Portal. It has been interesting. Promise me that you will take care of yourself. Well, I have a lot to write on a sailback, don't I? I still can't believe this. I'm looking at it, but I still can't believe it. But now, we just have to wait. Let's hope the rescue ship can be flagged down. Almost overshadows our journey, doesn't it? Not at all. Your story is and still a truly compelling one. It's funny, Captain. The reason I took on this story, interest in exploration, was waning. I grew up on stories of Kurt Darling. The great explorers were legends to me. I didn't want that passion to disappear. Who would have thought that we'd stumble upon a great discovery on our own? You're one of those great explorers now, Kasha. Your name will be in the history book. That is bizarre to think about, Captain. Regardless, I hope you continue to thrive, Shaw. You deserve that much. In fact, remember to keep in touch with me, especially if I have a good story to share. They'll write books about you one day, Robin. I know I will. Captain, I can't believe we made it. And yet, we still have to place our hopes on one lifeboat. I'm certain Kurt would have something poetic to say here. Are you worried about regaining your seasickness? I hadn't considered that until now. I do not look forward to it. You know, I still thought it was all hopeless. Even after leaving you that letter, I had very little faith in survival. And yet, people were relying on me, Captain. I can only hope I didn't let them down. You've proven as much several times over. Yes, but there's always room to improve, isn't there? I certainly don't intend on becoming complacent. I never felt good enough to carry my father's name. But now, well, thank you. Keep in contact. If you need a haircut any time, I'll tell my father to treat you for free. Oh, Captain. Sorry, I must admit I'm still mesmerized by this stream. Well, now we wait. It's out of our hands, but to make it this far, I have to commend you, Shaw. We've done something remarkable. You've done a great deal of credit. You've proved you as useful advisor. Well, I could only suggest the final decision was yours always. I've always fancied myself an expert, Shaw. I'm sure that comes as no surprise to you. But over the course of our expedition, well, it's become clear just how little I truly know. And to be honest, Shaw, that excites me. I'm excited for what lies ahead. What are your plans for when we return to land? No doubt Minerva will invest a great deal of resources into researching this plant. With good fortune in favor, I will be at the head of such research. To be at the forefront of such a discovery, I had my doubts once. I certainly had my doubts on you, Shaw. I've never been more happy to be wrong. I hope we have the chance to work together in the future. Our lives may be quite busy once we return.
We need not work together to remain in contact. That is true, though what I would likely to be able to share of my work in the future will no doubt be limited. Well, I can say one thing with certainty. The future is unknowable. Take care, Robin. No matter what happens from here, take care. I cannot stand this steam, this uncertainty. It seems Stanberry's in agreement. Calm now, girl. I wonder if we can indeed find land or flag rescue. Perhaps we have sentenced ourselves to a grim fate. Perhaps not. Regardless, it is a great deal of responsibility rests on our shoulders. Spoken like a true captain. You've truly found your voice, haven't you? I remember first meeting you as a mere officer under the thumb of Hunt. You're much better suited for the role in my eye. Porter looks out at the water. Stanberry gazes out at her side. For the moment I heard of your destination, I believed you were sailing to your demise. I joined you as I could not abandon my kennel. I truly believed I would die out here at their side. You have kept me from that fate, Robin. I'm glad to see you still with me. As am I. If once we return to land, I will rebuild my kennel anew, with any hope I can return to a peaceful life. With any luck, we won't see each other again, Robin. In advance, allow me to wish you the best. Roof! Team Stanberry wishes you the best as well, Captain. Week's hard sail finally gives way to land. The lifeboat makes port. Exhausted, you and Cordell spot a building ahead. Some weeks later. And here it is, the final draft, ready for publish. This should be with tomorrow's copy of the Daily Appeal, yes?
What am I looking at here, Balford? What's this? Is that a tree?
You're looking at the story of the year, Chief. Of the decade even, maybe even of the century.
Do you think people are going to believe this? That you really found a tree growing in the coldest part of the world?
They'll have to. We've got the pictures to prove it, don't we?
You disappear for a year and come back with this? I figured you'd finally gotten yourself killed.
I came close, but no. I'm afraid you haven't seen the last of me yet.
There's something else, you know that? Scares me sometimes. We'll have this in the next copy. Soon everyone will know what you found.
Can't wait.
Well, then we need to release some steam.
You don't have to tell me twice, bloody hell!
Don't speak back to me. Remember your rank, engineer.
Just an engineer, eh? Do you know what ship I served on?
You're not on a ship anymore, Hammond. And no, I don't.
What happened? Is this the same game?
This is the epilogue. We sailed away.
Of course you don't. Nobody does.
We survived. Alright. Who ordered the full fry?
Patron raises their hand.
Here, Junior, who's the musician? Come now, can't you see the resemblance? It's my brother, Grimley. I can tell him to keep it down if you like. Not at all. He's doing a tremendous job. You hear that, Grimley?
Aye.
Ha! Always humble. Yes, this is the end. The V's, how much have you missed? Did you miss, like, the entire boating sequence where I made a heartfelt speech to my crew and earned their, like, and earned my spot as captain? You did? Okay, well, we're probably going to get to the dog soon. Don't worry. In fact, please welcome Lady Ingrid Cordelia Weston. Cordell enters the gala. To the shock of many, a dog follows at her side. The woman gently nuzzling the creature's head. Roof, roof! Try not to get too excited, Stanberry. It's only a gala. Lady Weston, what is the meaning of this? Sir, you call me by name, yet I have no idea who you are. Well, you should know that I was not asking. You cannot bring a mutt with you. How odd. I seemed perfectly capable of doing so a moment ago. Roof! Yes, this way, Stanberry. Many hands to shake, names to forget, that sort of bother. I would prefer to be home before late. The pups need to be fed. Portal moves across the room, her faithful dog in tow. Okay, the dog survived. It's okay. Nutley and Kasha stand at the entrance to the barbershop belonging to Arthur Nutley Sr. Nervous? Always, yes. But are you more or less nervous than usual? Less nervous, more giddy? A good sort of nervous, I suppose. Nutley enters, followed by Kasha. Is that him? He's coming this way. Arthur Nutley Sr. spots his son from across the shop. Arthur? My goodness, is it really you? Father, The doctor isn't able to begin his sentence, interrupted by the barber throwing his arms around him, granting him a constricting hug. It's you, my boy, you're alive! The younger Arthur hesitates, surprised, before returning the hug from his father. I am. Does your mother know? Your sister? Unless they've read it in the paper. Speaking of, I wrote something for you. Nutley hands his father an envelope. Please read it, sometime when I am not here. Of course, I will. Kasha clears her throat. Pleased to meet you, sir. Kasha Belfort. Don't think I didn't notice you. How do you know my son? I hope he hasn't gotten himself into trouble. Arthur? In trouble? Hardly. Father, Kasha and I are... Well, I think you see that we're... An item? Yes. Son, you have been busy. Come, sit. I have much to hear. Oh, right, the camera, yeah. Let's see it. The old scientist ponders the table before him. He lights a cigarette. Mr. Templeton, you wish to speak with me? Yes, do not worry, this won't take long. Out with it, then. Minerva Appleton, I, Richard Templeton, hereby tender my resignation. This is sudden. I assure you that it is not. I have given this a great deal of thought. I intend to leave your services, effective immediately. Very well. Would that be all? Would that be all? Is there anything else you need of me? No. On reflection, there is nothing else I need of you. Miss Apperton exits the greenhouse. Templeton sighs a breath of relief. He reaches into his potted plant, removing small, brightly colored fruit. Minerva, I have all that I need from you. Hunt waits in his cell. The days have passed by. The once captain of the Temperance awaits his trial. This is horrid, isn't it? Not even a neighbor to keep me company. Hunt speaks to himself in the empty hold, his own voice echoing through the walls. The stories I could have shared with him would turn your hair white. I wonder, could I do it all again? It's too late now. Oh, the air was cold, of flake and white, a captain made pledge. On the ice, I made a claim, carved a course ahead. Of glory found I forged in frost, now with a tale to spread. A hunger drew the desperate air. Such souls were led. What did I do when steel hearts broke and courage did abscond? I've led these souls, so help the gods out of the pale beyond. He said the thing. He said the name of the game. Woo, he said the name of the game! Bellular Studios. Absolute cinema, yeah. I told you this game was worth it. Aww, Fire Jojo in blue, good boy, good girl, aww. You always love development pets. Uh-oh, I tapped out. Wow. What a good game. What a good game. Oh. Oh, God. Okay. I think now is about time. Rip 13 dogs. Yes. I know. I wish we could have saved them. Rip Kurt. Rest in peace, Two Johns. Rip the people that, well, that were cannibalized. Rest in peace. But honestly, I don't regret my decisions. I really don't. I know I could probably do things better. But for my first try, that was pretty darn good. That was pretty darn good. Okay. It's time to find a person to raid. I'm gonna find a new PNG tuber to raid. Okay. I've got a raid target. Don't forget to copy the raid message. Okay. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.